Yeah, yesterday, in fact, there was a lot of correction on all of these hospital stocks. Apollo Hospital, Max Healthcare was down 7%. Rainbow Children's, Medanta, they were all down anywhere between 3 to 7%. And this story is what really spooked the street. The Supreme Court had actually nudged the central government to come up with a concrete plan to make sure that the rates at various hospitals in various parts of the country are actually standardized. Otherwise, they would have to implement CGHS rates or the Clinical Establishment Act as well. But of course, this is right now work in progress. Supreme Court hasn't gone ahead and applied it yet. They've given a time period of 6 weeks for the government to come back with a plan, and most likely government will come back with a plan saying that we want to set up a committee, we want to come up with a solution, because this is something which is going to be a long drawn process. All the analysts on the street are saying it's not going to be a binary event, at least by the looks of it, because issues like these have been brought up earlier as well. There have been certain overhangs that had come even at COVID times. There was that pricing cap that had come on certain products as well, kneecaps and stents, etc. And all of that was something that was taken by this sector pretty much par for the course, because products is easier to standardize. But given the complexity of pricing in various, surgeries and various processes involved at hospitals, this might be really difficult to implement. So that's the consensus clearly, whether you look at a CLSA note, whether you look at a Jefferies note, or whether you look at even Axis Capital and others. But what they are saying is that this dip could actually be a buying opportunity. At least that's the word coming in from Jefferies. Axis Capital believe that if it does go by and this happens, it might impact a few hospitals a lot more. But Apollo Hospitals is something that might be impacted less. And CLSA also believes that the concern seems to be a bit overdone by the street, and it will be difficult to implement. So perhaps, Nikunj, we're likely to see a bit of a reversal and bounce back in hospital names today, you see?
I doubt it very much, Anisha, because you must realize that for the first time this entire sector, which has seen a huge change both in terms of PE investor, private sector capex coming in, this entire push towards private healthcare, I guess has seen no regulatory intervention per se. As of now, there is nothing which could be called as a regulatory intervention, but that in a sense now becomes this overarching concern, at least for the sector per se, which is that what if moment if something comes through. It's not that in the past regulatory interventions have not happened. I look at hospital sector in the following bracket. It's a sector where competition is brutal. It's a sector where the PE investors have come in and they've done a lot of cost cutting. As a result, margins and profits have looked strong. It's a sector which requires capex, but it's a sector where somewhere the whole appeal that ultimately it's a healthcare sector and it's not going to be, they will not be able to get that kind of commanding margins, I think would be at play. It's a sector where competition is brutal and the return ratios are not really north of 25-30% because of the intensive, because of the entire in competition, so to speak, the intensity of competition, and also valuations are a bit stretched. So my sense is that the best of the PE rating is behind hospitals. Competition is real. Brutality in terms of price war could start, regulatory intervention, and on top of that expansion, just sheer expansion which is coming in the hospital sector, I think is absolutely amazing. Just think about it. I mean, I'm going to use, let's say, Delhi as an example. Medanta is expanded to Lucknow. Fortis is just moving to Gurgaon, adding capacity. Max has bought a land in Lucknow. Apollo is going into Kanpur. All the so-called crowd which used to come to NCR, I think is now going to be not, moving here and there. While everybody wants better healthcare, but look at the competition. And it's a tough sector to be in because doctors really take large part of the, cut, so to speak. So my sense is that best of the gains in hospital stocks is behind us. PE is expensive. Competition is increasing. Margins could be under pressure, and if this regulatory concern comes in, which may well, I mean, you never know about these things, right? If it comes in, then it could be not,
disaster.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a problem there.
Yeah.